For most people, sleep is one of the best times of the day. Everyone loves to lay in bed, doing nothing in particular, and enjoying the feeling of a blanket softly pressing them to a warm spot. Unfortunately, about 1 in 3 people in the US suffer from insomnia. If you've ever spent a night without sleep, you may know the feeling of brokenness that can stay with you until the next night, and the next, and the next. Sleep heals our bodies and allows our minds to rest, but sometimes it fails us. Why is that, and what can you do about it? Stay with us, and you'll get a better idea of how to get your sleep back. Hello, you're watching Wisey. Today, we discuss the problems that destroy your sleep and propose simple strategies to solve them. If you're watching us for the first time, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more content and videos about anything and everything. Number 1. Phone. Let's first identify a very obvious cause: your phone. Phones are so indispensable to our lives that we walk with them, eat with them, and sleep with them. The information on how many people sleep with their smartphones varies, but the numbers are usually higher for teenagers. About 90% of people between 18 and 29 take their phones to bed. Phones make our sleep much more problematic, and there's actual science behind it. The screens emit the blue light that decreases our production of melatonin, a hormone that affects our circadian rhythms. Also, phones make it difficult for you to calm down. There's always new information that makes you want to stay up longer. You also probably play games or use social media, which can hardly help you relax. A possible solution to this problem is to stop using your phone about an hour before sleep. Some people go to extremes and even put them in a different room. But how would you hear your alarm clock then? If you find it hard to stay away from your phone for so long, try switching to night mode. It'll help your eyes adjust to a different type of light. In the long-term perspective, your sleep will become much more stable. Number 2. Change of place. Many people lose sleep when they have to change the place where they're staying. It's also pretty common to spend a night or two without sleep on vacation. Why does that happen? Contrary to popular belief, we're heavily dependent on rituals. Routine can be extremely important to us. When we travel to an unknown place, we leave the comfort of our homes and visit places we're not accustomed to. Everything is in a different place: your bed, your mirror, and even the bathroom. If you're a person of habit, as many people are, you may develop a sense of unease and discomfort. Yes, even if you're staying at the most expensive hotel in the world. Research shows that change of place can have an effect on sleep quality and that morning types face more problems with sleep during traveling. If you're passionate about your trips or simply have to move for your job, consider adding some routine to your hotel stay. If you can, take something that helps you sleep, like your favorite pillow or a stuffed animal. Hey, it's totally alright to have one. It'll help you cope with short-term discomfort and feel more at home. Now, time for our Wisey fact of the day. In 1963, Randy Gardner was 17 years old. He wanted to prove that sleep deprivation wouldn't have any effect on him, so he became part of an experiment that studied the impact of prolonged lack of sleep on people. Randy lasted 11 days and 25 minutes, and continues to hold the record to this day. During the study, he developed problems with concentration, memory, and mood swings. He also had hallucinations and paranoia. After his recovery, he suffered from insomnia. So much for one experiment, huh? Number 3. Sleep disorders. Sleep isn't always about relaxing. Some individuals suffer from quite rare and unusual conditions. A typical yet sometimes scary example is parasomnia, which involves abnormal behavior or sensations that happen to a person when they sleep. In the US, about 10% of people are affected by parasomnia of some kind. You're probably familiar with sleepwalking, right? A person who sleepwalks can talk, walk around, and even perform some actions while they sleep. Unfortunately, people who sleepwalk can experience sleep problems and can wake up more tired. On top of that, we've got night terrors. They appear when a person transitions from NREM sleep, which stands for non-rapid eye movement, into REM sleep with rapid eye movement. It isn't like a nightmare though. In a nightmare, you're experiencing a specific scenario and you can remember it. But with night terrors, a person just has a strong sense of fear. Depending on the type of parasomnia, solutions can vary, but in most cases, people don't get medication aside from clonazepam and melatonin. Instead, doctors suggest developing a more stable sleeping schedule, better sleeping habits, and limiting alcohol and drug use. Still, make sure to consult with your doctor, especially if your problem becomes chronic. Number 4. Aging. If you're a teenager experiencing sleep issues, there's a chance that it's a natural part of your growing up process. After you hit puberty, your biological clock can be a bit shaky. 73% of teenagers don't get enough sleep. When you become a teen, your sleep pattern can shift by 2 hours, so you start going to bed later than before. It isn't laziness or bad character, it's a change of circadian rhythms. Many students also can't get enough sleep because they have too much on their plates at school, at home, and in their personal life. That's why it's important for our parents to help their children get enough sleep without punishing them. If you're a parent, help your kid organize their sleeping schedule. If you're a teen, make sure to get enough sleep on the weekends. You deserve the chance to lay in bed a little bit longer, especially if you had a tiring week. Before we go further, let's do a little quiz. What type of food would be bad to eat before you fall asleep? A. Bananas. B. Chocolate. C. Honey. Take a guess. The answer is chocolate. It turns out all those life hacks about eating chocolate for comfort before you sleep aren't helpful after all. Chocolate can lead to a more active rapid eye movement, which will affect your sleep throughout the night. Bananas and honey are actually quite good. So, you can switch from hot chocolate before bed to sweet milk with honey. Studies show that drinking it twice daily for 3 days can help you sleep better. Number 5. Mental health issues. People with psychological problems are among the most common sufferers of insomnia. The problem is, about 1 in 5 people in the US have such disorders. Doesn't sound encouraging, does it? Depression, anxiety, and stress account for half of the mental health-related problems with sleep. Every psychological issue can affect your brain and sleeping patterns differently. For instance, those who suffer from depression can experience a sense of guilt and hopelessness, which result in daily sleeplessness or issues with falling asleep at night. In turn, irregular sleep patterns worsen depression, which affects a person's capacity to rest. It's a pretty vicious cycle. Meanwhile, anxiety impacts people in other ways. As a condition that makes a person constantly worried, it's correlated with such disorders as obsessive-compulsive disorder, panic disorder, and others. Many people with anxiety feel like they aren't tired until they collapse. These are just the most common types of problems, but some other psychological challenges like bipolar disorder, ADHD, or schizophrenia can also affect a person's sleep. Keep in mind that self-diagnostics is harmful. If you have a suspicion that you have any of these or similar issues, contact your doctor and discuss the possible options. Usually, insomnia is treated with psychotherapy and/or medications. Number 6. Biological factors. Let's not forget that physical issues can also affect our sleep. If you're experiencing chronic pain, let's say due to arthritis, it is harder for you to sleep and relax. The same goes for difficulty breathing. Think asthma, sleep apnea, or heart disease. Unfortunately, many people neglect their health and ignore problems when they arise. A peculiar yet deeply uncomfortable condition is called a restless legs syndrome, which is when a person can't stay still due to unpleasant sensations in their legs. If you feel like anything in your body really interferes with your sleep, make sure to address it with your physician. Treating such problems alone won't make them go away, and even worse, it can be potentially dangerous. Number 7. Medication. Did you know that some of the meds you take can negatively affect your sleep? It's understandable that few people are familiar with the full scope of side effects they can encounter, but monitoring such things can save you a lot of sleepless nights. If you're taking selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, like Prozac, it can change your sleeping pattern. Since it's common to take these medications for depression, check whether such antidepressants are suitable for you first. Some other substances that can be problematic for sleep are steroids, dopamine antagonists, psychostimulants, and others. Still, if you decide to quit your meds, compare the timeline from when your insomnia started to the point when you began taking them. If you've always used these medications without any harm to your sleep, chances are the problem is in something else. Still, You should regularly check in with your physician regarding your prescriptions, especially if there's a chance you might experience negative effects from their further use. Well, there it is. You've learned about some most common reasons for insomnia, and we hope you're ready and energized to act. Sleep isn't something to mess with, and developing better sleeping patterns will do wonders for your health. Some things require a simple lifestyle change, while others can demand a doctor's appointment. The question is, where will you start? We hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more useful tips and unusual facts with videos about anything and everything. And as always, see you next time.